The thing is, when I heard about this, human to human, I thought it was awful, absolutely horrendous, really truly horrendous. Let's have a look at what we know about Ali Harbi Ali, 25. He was actually, it seems, referred to the anti-extremism program Prevent. Obviously, it raises very urgent questions about it. He did actually attend the de-radicalization program, so he was definitely on the radar. And it is fairly awful, as you say. I mean, so David was stabbed multiple times inside a church in Leigh-on-Sea, inside a church, as he met local residents, obviously at his surgery. Yes, Wendy, this alleged murderer was on the watch list. Absolutely, he was. And I start to look at the wider implications of it, obviously, because then you have all these MPs who are like, oh, I can't do my surgery anymore. Now, let's be clear. There will always be MPs who want to leap on the back of this because they want to do less in their constituency. We have to be honest about that. Definitely. Right? So there will be people like that. But and people like David Amess are few and far between in Parliament. A lot of them just love the status of it. They don't take care of their constituents. But he was, by all accounts, an absolutely hands-on top man within his constituency. I looked at his voting record. On another level, me and him would have clashed horrendously. He voted for all the things that I, disagree with. He didn't agree with increasing benefits, for example. He didn't agree with same-sex marriage, for example. But in terms of animals, he and I were completely on the same page, completely. And the only thing is, of course, we have to be careful not to canonize people when they die, because humans are still humans with all their faults and everything. And what we don't need now is for this to make a situation where MPs are even more unreachable, even more untouchable, beyond question, beyond reproach. They're all saying things like, well, this is your fault because you've been insulting MPs. Well, sometimes MPs have to be insulted. I'm sorry, when they're voting against free school meals for kids, tell them, let them know, and it's like, so it's a very thin line, isn't it, Scott? It's a very fine line that we're crossing here.
It is, and it's, again, certain things I don't want to say too much of, but I had an MP who I actually helped get elected. I massively regret she's still an MP now, and I worked on a campaign for her, and she's a Labour MP. And the Conservative Party actually credit me for helping to get her elected, which is interesting. So this is someone I know personally. This is someone I helped get elected, something, again, I deeply regret. I'm an old school lefty. I'm an old school Labour lefty guy. So I voted for Brexit. I'm a bit of a Bennite. So Tony Benn, it was the sort of, had the sort of political kind of same stance as myself.
Right.
My MP, when I had an issue with the hostile environment, who I knew, refused to meet me for a surgery because I'd voted for Brexit. So my wife was a victim of the hostile environment. This was someone that I knew. I needed some help. I wasn't getting anywhere with her, and I wasn't getting anywhere with anyone else. And the only people that did help me was actually randomly some Conservative members and then some Lib Dem ladies. And so I had to force my MP to hold, and I just did this just for pure, I'm going to do this, to hold a constituency, to a surgery meeting with me. And I eventually was pulling out laws from 1908, etc., and saying, no, you have to meet me and we have to go through this. And she eventually said yes. And we had that meeting at Portcullis House with parliamentary security there. And I turned up with, she was a Conservative councillor who I knew, she was my local councillor. I turned up with her and my wife, just for, it's myself and two women, I'm no threat to anybody, just to be, no, this is your job. You can't hold it against me because, like the majority of the public, I voted for Brexit, which is an old school Labour thing. And yeah, so I did it just on purpose, just to force her to have that surgery meeting. So there will be people like her now who in the past did Jack Diddley with their constituents and who didn't hold surgery meetings, who will use this as a reason why they shouldn't be holding surgery meetings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That concerns me because it It is their job. And the MPs, I understand some people will genuinely be scared because in case there's a copycat attack at the moment. So I completely understand that. But at the end of the day, is that these MPs every few years go knocking on everyone's door. They walk around the street. They turn up at every fate opening or opening of an envelope to get a photo of themselves, to make themselves look good, like they're doing something. They're around the public all the time.
Yeah.
So this isn't really a major threat going forward for them, because if you'll start seeing some of them saying, oh, well, I can't because of security and we don't want to spend money hiring a security guard. But then you wait, if every single event happening in their constituency, which will make them look good, they'll be there with a photo, which will be in the local press.
Yeah.
They'll be tweeting pictures of them there.
That's right. Kissing a baby that doesn't want to be kissed by them, all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I'm loath to agree with Priti Patel, but I find myself agreeing with her on this. And that is one of the ways, of course, of dealing with it, is to make sure that these are all appointments for the surgery and that people are checked out beforehand. It's really simple and straightforward, right? Who are these people? Are they on a de-radicalization program? Are they on a terrorist watch list? Really simple stuff. This should be basic due diligence. People in the comments are worried that this is going to make MPs even more untouchable. Ricky says something smells very fishy about all this, but either way, my thoughts and prayers with the family. And he was a fantastic person, MP. Defer, sadly, too, there will be no mention of the over 250 deaths by knife crime that go pretty much unreported every year in the UK. Absolutely, yes. So it is a tricky situation. Listen, we've used up